Hi, Sweat and Milk followers. My name is Sophia Rose, and I am a prenatal and postpartum personal trainer and Pilates instructor. And today I'm going to take you through a prenatal Pilates core strengthening workout. You need your fitness ball, your large fitness ball. So go and grab that if you haven't got it out yet at this point in your pregnancy. And you also need your long stretchy band, your long TheraBand. So go and grab that as well. We are going to start sitting on the ball. Okay, so come and join me sitting on the ball with your long stretchy band. So to sit on the ball, I'll just turn to a side quickly to show you. We're going to try and find that really good prenatal posture. So common in our pregnancy to find ourselves kind of tucking the pelvis under and collapsing into the back there. We don't want to do that. Or you might be finding that you're really going naturally into this overarch in the back, kind of sticking the butt behind you and overarching, which is going to give you so much discomfort in that low back. So we're going to try as best as we can to find the neutral. Okay, so our sit bones, they're not pointing behind us, they're not tucking underneath us, they are pointing straight down to the ground, okay? So finding that really neutral pelvic alignment, spine is stuck on top of there. Okay, see if you can find that for me. Okay, and then you're going to take your feet nice and wide so you feel nice and stable, wider than hip width. You're going to take your long stretchy band and wrap it around your rib cage. We are going to start with some banded deep core breathing, okay? If this is the first time you've done this deep core breathing, there is a video in the Strong Pregnancy series dedicated purely to this breathing technique. You might want to check that out. Okay, otherwise let's get going. So the band is wrapped around your mid rib cage area, okay? So kind of just above belly button, mid bump area. Holding it, it's crossed over. I've crossed it over and I'm holding it in each hand. Relaxing those shoulders. You can lift the elbows slightly, but relax those shoulders away from your ears. Sitting nice and tall on the ball, nice neutral pelvis. We're going to inhale nice and wide. Feel your rib cage expanding into the band. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. So inhale through your nose, feel your belly and your rib cage expand into the band. As you exhale through your mouth, you're going to wrap the band, you're going to lift your pelvic floor high inside you, hug your baby in towards your spine and pull that band. Okay, so it's like a corset tightening. As you inhale, release your pelvic floor, release baby, and release the pull on the band, the rib cage expands back into the band, okay? So exhale, zip, close, lift the pelvic floor, hug baby into spine, wrap the band, pull the band. Inhale, release everything. Release the band, release the pelvic floor, release baby and bump. Exhale, lift pelvic floor, hug baby into spine, pull band. Inhale, release everything. Exhale, lift pelvic floor, hug baby into spine, pull band. Inhale, release everything. Keep your butt cheeks soft into the ball, by the way. They naturally want to clench, don't let them. Find your own pace, you don't have to be exactly with me. Exhaling to engage everything. Inhaling to release. Exhaling to lift, hug, wrap. Inhaling to release. 3 more times. Exhale, lift, hug, wrap. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift, hug baby and wrap band. Inhale, release. Last time, exhale, lift pelvic floor, hug baby in, pull the band. Inhale, release. Let everything go. Whew, I hope you felt that. So we're really kind of lifting that pelvic floor up, hugging baby in and feeling that wrapping sensation. That is your deep core breathing, okay? You can do it with or without the band. The band just helps you out a little bit. Okay, keeping that band for the next exercise, we are going to do exactly the same thing. So still lift that pelvic floor, hug baby in, wrap the band, feel that wrapping of the core. We're going to add a little knee lift. So maybe come to hip width now. So inhale to prepare, exactly the same thing, trying to get that all together on the exhale, lift pelvic floor, hug baby in, pull the band, and just take a small knee lift with one knee. It's not going to go very high, okay, in this position, especially keeping that pelvis nice and neutral. Inhale to release it back down. Alternate the knee that lifts. Exhale to wrap the core and lift the knee. Inhale to release it back to the floor with control. Keep moving. I'm going to go onto a side just so you can see what's happening a little bit better in my body. So I'm going to try and keep my pelvis nice and neutral. Exhale, engaging that core, pulling the band, lifting the knee. Inhale to release back down with control. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor, hug baby, wrap band, lift knee. Okay, so exactly what we just did. Inhale to release by adding that small knee lift in to challenge that core even more. Exhale, lift pelvic floor, hug baby, wrap the band, lift the knee. All together, that's the challenge, getting it all together. Inhale to release. Good, so keeping those sit bones pointing straight down to the floor. See how I'm not tucking the pelvis underneath me? I'm not arching my back and sticking the butt behind me, keeping that neutral pelvis. Good, let's take 4 more. Don't worry if you're at a different pace to me on any of these exercises. It's really important. Keep moving, keep alternating that knee lift. Really important you find your pace, ladies, okay? Especially if you find you're going a little bit lightheaded with this very deep, concentrated breath work, you might want to speed it up a bit. Last one, make sure you've evened up your sides with that knee lift. Last strong one here. Exhale, pelvic floor lifts, baby hugs in, wrap the band, lift the knee, all together. Inhale to release. Good, well done. We're going to take the band off from around the rib cage. Okay, and we're going to hold it in front of us now. Shoulder width, okay? We're going to be taking a small pull on the band. See if you can relate that to that engaging of those deep core muscles, hugging baby tight in towards the spine. Still imagine and visualize that wrapping of the band, okay? Even though the band's not there. So let's just take 10 alternating reps, exactly the same thing that you've just done, but without the band wrapped around you now, okay? So inhale to prepare, exhale, lift the pelvic floor, hug baby in, wrap the core, pull the band, lift the knee. Inhale, release that foot down, release the band pull. So you're adding that band pull in. Exhale, engage, lift the knee, pull the band. Inhale, everything releases. Just keep alternating. Exhale. Good. Inhale. See how I'm keeping my pelvis super neutral, okay? I'm still not tucking it or sticking the butt behind me. Exhale to engage and lift. Inhale to release back down. Good, and 5. Shoulders are staying down. And 6. See if you can stay really lifted and really tall, ladies, okay? Someone is lifting you through the crown of your head. Lifting out of that spine. Don't sink down into that ball. 1 more on each side if you're with me, finishing at 10 if you're at your own pace. Really strong active exhale, everything engages on that exhale. Last one. Good, well done. Release that band down, awesome. We're gonna add a small twist, a small rotation, just to gently activate those oblique abdominals, those side abdominals. You wanna think of them kind of wrapping across almost like a corseted wrap from the sides of your rib cage. Still use that band, okay? So kind of just hold a constant little pull on that band now. Exactly the same thing that we've just done. We're just kind of layering a little bit more in each time, but we're adding a very small twist in, as much as you can manage with that twist. So inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you lift the pelvic floor, you hug baby in, you wrap that core, you lift one knee and you're going to twist over that knee. So if your right knee's lifting, you're twisting to your right. Okay. Inhale to come back to the center, everything goes back down. Alternate sides. Exhale, I'm going to keep moving, ladies. I'm now going to turn back to the front. Makes a little bit more sense on this one. Inhale back to the center. Good, so exhale, everything engages, lift that knee, twist over that knee, stay tall. Inhale back to the center. Good, exhale, lift the pelvic floor, hug baby in, wrap the core, lift the knee, twist the spine. Inhale back to center, all at the same time. I had a little wobble there. Okay, exhale, engage and twist. Inhale back to the center. This is pure deep core work. Exhale. Inhale. It's a lot, I know. We're really working those deep intrinsic core muscles. Really make sure you keep lifting that pelvic floor, okay? Super important in pregnancy. Talk about it so much in this series, but it's so important. It's literally the floor of your core. It's getting all that pressure down on it as baby grows. You want to keep it super strong. Good. Exhale, engage, twist. Lifting as you twist, trying not to sink down. We're going to do one more to each side. Exhale. Inhale, last one to your left. Exhale, twist. Inhale back to the center. Ah, good. Let the core go. Let it release. Let baby go. Let bump release. It's really intense, deep core work here, so just let it have a release. One more on the ball, okay? Keeping hold of the band if you can. If at this point you want to get rid of the band and put it down, you can. You can put the hands on the hips, okay? I'm going to go on the side again so you can really see what's happening in my pelvis. We are now going to tuck that pelvis underneath us, okay? So we'll get a little bit of a gentle low back stretch, which can feel nice, but we're also going to keep focusing on working those deep core muscles to make this movement happen, okay? So feet can go hip width or a little bit wider and a little bit away from the ball. If you're using the band shoulder height, if not, hands could go on hips here. Okay, inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you are now going to send the ball forward, tuck the pelvis underneath you. Okay, it's a little pelvic tuck. And I want you to try and make this happen from those deep core muscles, okay? So exhale, lift the pelvic floor, draw baby in towards your spine to send the sit bones forward, if that makes sense. Inhale, release nice and high back on top of those sit bones. Don't go here into an arch. Okay, just go to neutral, sit bones pointing straight to the floor. Exhale, send that ball under. Inhale, release back on top of those sit bones. Exhale, hugging baby into spine to send those sit bones forward. So we're really getting into those deep lower abdominals that are quite hard to get into in pregnancy, I know. Exhale, sending the ball forward, hugging baby in, wrapping the core. Inhale, release back onto those sit bones. Exhale, sending that ball forward. Inhale to release back to neutral. If you've got the band, you can take a small pull of the band at the same time. That little pull of the band can sometimes help you feel that connection to the deep core more. Exhale, pull, tuck, roll under. Inhale, release back to neutral. Two more. Exhale, hug baby in, lift the pelvic floor, send the ball forward. Inhale, release. Good, last one. Exhale, send the ball forward, hugging baby in. And inhale, release. Good, well done. Second stage of this workout, we are going to remove the ball and come to 4-point kneeling, tabletop, okay? So carefully coming off your ball and moving it out the way. You do need it at the end for a very brief stretch, so don't push it away too much. And coming into your 4-point kneeling, you don't need your band. So coming into 4-point kneeling, knees are under your hips, and hands are under your shoulders. If this is too much, by the way, if you've got to this point in the workout and your core's super tired, especially if you're towards the end of pregnancy, that might be enough. Pause the video. You can always come back to this second half another time, okay? Otherwise, stick with me if you're ready for more. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to take our opposite leg stretches, okay? So tabletop leg stretches, so make sure you've got enough space behind you. Quick demo of the deep core engagement here though before we do that. So inhale through the nose. As you exhale, exactly like we just did on the ball, you're going to lift your pelvic floor and you're going to lift baby up towards your spine, hug baby up to spine and wrap that core. Okay, and you're going to do that every time we add the leg lift in. So inhale to prepare. As you exhale, lift pelvic floor, hug baby up, stretch one leg behind you and lift. No higher than hip height, switching your glutes on and your hamstring on, hips are square. Inhale, lower to slide it back in. You're alternating your sides. Exhale, lift pelvic floor, hug baby up, lengthen and lift one leg. Okay, so I'm really hugging baby up to spine here. Okay, I'm not letting it all release and going into my low back. I'm hugging baby up to the spine, engaging those deep core muscles to lift the leg. Inhale, come back in, finding your own pace, alternating sides. Exhale to lengthen and lift. Inhale to come back in. Exhale, hug baby up, lengthen, lift that leg. Square hips. Inhale to come back in. Stay moving just the legs if that's enough of a challenge. You've now got the option to add the opposite arm in if you want a little bit more challenge. Do not worry if that's too much, if you're too wobbly. Exhale, stretching and lengthening and lifting the opposite arm to leg or just the leg. Inhale to slide back in. You're probably going to need more of the hugging up. Really engage even more into that deep core now if you're adding the opposite arm. The harder the exercise gets, the more you're going to have to hug baby up and really, really work those deep core muscles. Wrap, imagine that band wrapping nice and tight like a corset. Okay, 2 more. Inhale, come back in. Last one, make sure you've evened up your sides. Exhaling to lengthen and lift. Hug baby up nice and tight. Wrap that core. Inhale to come back in. Good, we're going to take a little child's pose before the finisher. So knees nice and wide, feet together. Knees go as wide as you need to for bump. Sitting back onto those heels. And just take a few lovely deep breaths here. We've got your little core finisher coming up, ladies, so just prepare yourself mentally. We're going to take a little knee hover in our 4-point kneeling position with that deep core breath. And then we'll be finishing with a plank prep, knees down. If these 2 moves are too much for you, hit stop, enough for you today, and you can always try them another day. Otherwise, let's go for it. Come back into that 4-point kneeling, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, okay? We're going to be tucking those toes and we're going to be hovering those knees off the floor just for 1 deep core breath. So you're going to take your deep core breath that we've just been practicing. Inhale through the nose. As you exhale, lift the pelvic floor, hug baby tight up to spine, wrap that core, and at the same time, take the knees just off the floor, all together. Inhale to release back down with control. Exhale, lift pelvic floor, hug baby up. Wrap core, lift the knees. Inhale to release. The knees are coming just off the floor. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift pelvic floor, hug baby, wrap core, lift knees. Inhale, release. It's almost like, keep moving ladies, it's almost like your belly button's on a piece of string or your baby's bump is on a piece of string. It's threaded through your body. Someone's holding it above your spine, okay? As you exhale, they pull that string and you lift it. It lifts baby up towards your spine. Hope that makes sense. It's quite a nice visual. Inhale, release. 2 more if you can. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Last one. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Good. Let's have a rest before the finale. Go back into that child's pose if you need to, or if you just need to come off your arms and shoulders and wrists, please do. This is your finale. This is your plank, knees down plank prep to finish. Might be too much for you depending on where you are in your pregnancy. Please don't do it if it's too much for you. If you want that last finale and you're feeling good still, let's go for it. So coming back to hands under shoulders, we're going to take a knees down plank prep with deep core breaths. You are focusing throughout this plank hold on really using that strong exhale to hug baby up to spine and wrap that core, exactly like we've been practicing this whole workout. So you're going to keep those knees down on the floor, okay? Your pelvis in line with your spine. Make sure you don't drop your pelvis too low down here because that's going to press into that low back. But equally, you don't want the butt right up here. You want to try and find pelvis in line with spine. Watch my glute muscles, my butt muscles, I'm going to squeeze them, you see? Okay, I'm not sticking my bum out. I'm going to try and roll it under a bit, find that neutral, squeeze my glutes, and then I'm going to draw bump up to spine there. Feet can be in line with knees. Some people do like to cross them over here. You're more than welcome to do that as well. Okay, spread your fingertips. Hands are under shoulders, okay? If this is too much, but you still feel like you want to try one more last exercise, just come back into your 4-point kneeling here and take one final set of your deep core breath to me, okay? Otherwise, we're in that plank prep position here. Okay, feet down, or you can cross them. Okay, we're just going to take 6 to 8 deep core breaths here. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale. Hug, bump up. Inhale, just release into the rib cage as you inhale and release. Don't fully release everything. Exhale, lift pelvic floor up. Hug, baby, and wrap that core nice and tight. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Good, squeeze the glutes, push away from the floor. Inhale, release a little bit. Exhale, hug baby up. Wrap that core. Inhale, release. One more good quality deep core breath for me, ladies. Exhale, hug baby up tight. And inhale, come back onto those heels. Feet together, knees super wide. And sit back and breathe. Well done, ladies. If you made it all the way through to the end with me, that was a really very concentrated, intense, deep core workout. It's wonderfully slow, controlled, good quality deep core work. Really gets those deep transverse abdominals. Super, super important that we keep those strong through our pregnancy to support our posture and our body and prevent low back pains and hip pains and all of those pains and aches getting worse. And to help support us in our postnatal recovery. Last big breath here. As you inhale, you're really expanding into your ribs and into your back. As you exhale, carefully roll yourself up. And if you've got 1 or 2 more minutes, just take your big ball again. And we're just going to release over the ball, because after lots of deep core, concentrated core work, you kind of feel like you want to stretch it out a little bit through those front of the abdominal muscles. So we're going to come with the ball to our backs. We sit right up against the ball. There's 2 ways to do this, and one is more intense than the other. This way I'm showing you is more intense, okay? So very, very cautiously try this. You might feel you can't even get into this position, so just hold fire for me. I'll show you the more gentle version. So if you can, you're sitting onto your heels, okay? So this might even be too much if you've got tight quads and hips. Bum and back right up against the ball, so balls right into your back, okay, and your bum. And then you're just going to carefully release yourself over. Take your hands, support your head, interlock your fingers. Go to wherever you can here. You might not be able to go all the way. If you can, you release all the way to the ball. If you feel any painful pulling down your midline, if you feel any excessive popping here, or doming, or it just doesn't feel right or comfortable in your abdominals, do not do this. I'm going to show you in a second the less intense version. Okay, so if this feels okay and it feels good and it feels like you're getting a nice gentle stretch through those abdominals, but you're not getting low back aches or pains, you're not getting a horrible pulling feeling down the midline, then stay there and just breathe. Otherwise, the slightly more gentle version of this, you're not going to be kneeling on the heels, come all the way to the floor with your bum. Okay, and your feet can be, you can either bend your knees here, or you can release the legs, whichever you prefer for your hips and your positioning. I kind of like to bend my knees, feet on the floor. It gives me a bit more stability. Right up against that ball again. Same thing, interlock those fingers, hands underneath the head, and then release here. So you'll just feel that it's not as extreme, it's not as intense. Okay, so depending on what stage of your pregnancy you're in, when you're further towards the very end, this second version is probably going to be more suitable. It's less intense. Whereas the more extreme one that I did first, you might be able to manage that one through the first trimester, maybe halfway through second trimester. We're all unique in our pregnancy. It depends how fast your bump's growing, how that's making your midline of your abdominals feel, you know, whether you've got that, if you're towards the end, if you've got that diastasis recti, which the majority of us get at the end of pregnancy, so don't panic if you have got that. If you have, you're going to want to do this second, more gentle version for sure. Good, let's take 3 or 4 more deep breaths here. Just feeling that expansion through the chest, that release through the front of those abdominals. Last couple of breaths, relaxing the pelvic floor muscles, ladies, now. Last big breath. And carefully, gently, in your own time, nothing sudden, release off that ball. And well done. Thank you so much for joining me. If you got all the way to the end of that core workout, well done. If any of it was too much, don't panic. You can use that workout throughout your pregnancy as your pregnancy progresses, and you can just drop some of the more advanced exercises, the more challenging exercises off as you progress through your pregnancy. Just depends how you're feeling and what's going on in your pregnancy. As always, any questions, comment on the video. Lots of love to you, and look forward to meeting you on the mat again for another strong pregnancy workout.